Hi guys, my name is Erica Burkhalter. Oh my gosh, my heater is on. 1 second. Hi guys, my name is Erica Burkhalter and I am here to share with you my testimony about how I got my dream job at Tyler Perry Studios. Now warning, I do not work there anymore. I was there for about a year, but I do feel like my story as to how I got there can inspire a lot of people. This probably won't help you get a job at Tyler Perry Studios, but every single person that I've shared this story with, they have just found it to be extraordinary, and I think it's worth sharing. So you all could probably be blessed by it. I'll get right to it. In 2017, my twin sister and I, we were living in New York City, and I was really working a job that I really did not like, and it's crazy. I won't go into much detail about it because it's really not that important to this story, but I knew that our lease for our apartment was coming to an end, and I knew I wanted to go back to the South, but not go back home. Home for me is New Orleans. So I was thinking the perfect middle ground between New York and New Orleans was Atlanta. Still a big city, Hollywood South. So I figured it was a great place to go. And plus Tyler Perry Studios was there and I always wanted to work there. So while I was working this job, I had the opportunity to go on a women's retreat at my church. The church I was going to in New York City at the time was called Trinity Church Harlem. If you're in New York City and you need a church home, I would highly advise you to visit Trinity Church. I love Pastors Taylor and Kristen Wilkerson. They are awesome. While I was there, I served in the production ministry, and honestly, the entire time I was working this job that I really didn't like, I tried to go to church as much as possible. It was a place that I was the happiest. I would pray a lot. I would be fasting a lot because I knew that this job just wasn't it for me. Like, I wasn't happy there, but I knew God had something better for me. I had an opportunity to go on a retreat, and like I said, after the retreat, we started to study James chapter, just the entire book of James. But just starting out, in James chapter 1, verses 2 and 3, it says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." Very, very crazy. It was just like the perfect book I needed at that time, at that specific time in my life. I would cry a lot in the shower, and I would even pray for my boss still. Even though I didn't really want to be there, I still prayed for her. Didn't know what was going on in her life, but still prayed for her. Didn't want to pray for her, but I did. So it's just a reminder to always praise God in the midst of your trials and tribulations, because I also knew that I was praising God for the things that were coming for me. Like, I was praising God in advance for the blessings that were coming. So I knew something big was coming. So I just started to praise God for that. So just remember, when it's bad, it won't be bad for long. I always know when I'm experiencing something extremely bad, it means that there's something much better on the other side of that pain. So this is how I really got the job. I was invited to a very informal happy hour at STK by one of my mentors. Her name is Yaya, and I really, really did not want to go. And Aaron was like, "Come on, Erica, I'm telling you, it's going to be great." And you never know who's going to be at a happy hour. You never know who you're going to meet, so just always look nice. And I went, and I had my elevator pitch ready because, like I said, I was working a job I really didn't want. So every single person that I met, I was super prepared with sharing with them what I had done, what I had accomplished, and what I wanted to do. And one of the things I would always tell people was, "Hey, I really want to work at Tyler Perry Studios. I really, and I would always tell people that. But this first time, I actually shared this with someone. This was the time where, well, I shouldn't say this was the first time I shared this with someone, but I'm just saying this was the first time that when I had shared that, someone was like, oh, I know someone who works at Tyler Perry Studios, and guess what? She's right there. So I'm like so excited. I go and talk to her, and we were talking for at least an hour. At the end of the night, we exchanged information, and then I would follow up with her every now and then, and she would also follow up with me when I would be on her brain, and she just kept me in mind for future projects. I wasn't being too pushy, but I made sure that she would remember me. So I just think it's very, very important to have your elevator pitch ready. If you don't tell someone, I know a lot of times in this generation, it's like, oh, you can't share your visions with everybody. That wasn't one of those situations where it was like a vision. It was just more like, this is one of my dreams. And I feel like if you don't share your dreams with people, how can they ever help you? You never know who people know. If I had never said that, we would have just been talking, and it may have come up, but still, to be very direct about what you want. People can't help you if they don't know what you want. You know, no one's psychic, so be very open when it comes to sharing what it is you want in life, you know. So that was huge. That was the major part of it. You know, like I said, you never know who you're gonna meet. I'm telling you, y'all, this was such an informal happy hour. Like, I would have never thought that I was gonna meet somebody who worked at Tyler Perry Studios there. Never. So, God had kind of like showed me that March 17th will be my last day working this particular job. And I was like, okay, cool. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it one last chance. I'm gonna try to talk to my boss and, you know, let her know how I'm feeling and, you know, see if we can get on the same page with this thing, you know. And that didn't really go well. And so I was like, you know what? March 17th is definitely my last day. And my boss at the time, she told me not to come in. So I ended up letting her know that the day before, you know, that was my last day. But I didn't give like a notice, and I never do that. I never leave a job where I don't give like a 2 weeks notice. But this was the worst job by far that I've ever worked, and I wasn't gonna give you 2 extra weeks to torture me. You understand what I'm saying? My resignation letter was literally maybe 4 lines. Like, I'm not with the lying. It was a pleasure. It was not a pleasure, okay? It was not a pleasure, to be very, very clear and very honest. I was very grateful for the opportunity, and I made sure to say that, but I did also put in the resignation letter. I've been presented with an offer that I cannot resist. I didn't have another offer lined up. The other offer was my peace of mind, okay? To be completely honest with you, I didn't have another job lined up. I did not. But the offer that I lied. I lied, okay? I couldn't be there anymore. I couldn't allow myself to be tortured anymore. So I quit the same day and I left. I did it very professionally, but I just left. Anyways, I knew I had some money saved to pay my rent. I just wasn't worried about it. I knew God was gonna take care of me. Let me tell you something. The day before I emailed that resignation letter, my contact at TPS, she texted me and asked me, she said, if I needed you to come out here next week and work for a week, would you be available? And I said yes. And you know what? My heart kind of stopped when she texted me that, because I was like, you know what, God? Even if this opportunity doesn't come through, even if it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. Because you just gave me a glimpse of the blessings that are coming for me, okay? So anyways, I go in to quit, not even with the hopes or anything that I was working at TPS the next week, but the day after I quit, I got offered the position. The day after I quit, I got offered the position at Tyler Perry Studios. And I was so excited. I was just so excited. And it's just about keeping the faith though. It was just like I didn't have any worry in my mind that God was gonna take care of me. Whew, y'all, the next day, I got offered that position. And I want to remind you that at this particular time in my life, I was serving a lot in the church. Like I was saying, I was fasting a lot. I was constantly praying and asking God to blow my mind. And I just had this crazy faith for him. I'm telling you, I was offered the job through a text message. I didn't apply for it. I booked the flight right after with my dad's Southwest points, and I went and stayed with family. And I'm telling y'all, right after I quit, right after I sent that email, or after I put the letter on her desk, I went and played Ice Cube, the Put Your Back Into It. Me and Erin had already talked about it. She was like, girl, go play that song, go walk to the subway and just smile and just be free. Because she knew we lived together, and she knew how I would come home every single day. Yeah, y'all, I'm not telling y'all go quit your job, because don't say Erica told me and that's what Erica did. I'm just saying, like, my time there was over. It was over. And I also had signs before accepting that job. Sometimes when you have signs, sometimes you should move forward with things, but I felt forced to really have a job and just not be unemployed. So whatever, I've learned major lessons, but I'm just saying, like, I was free, so I was very, very happy. It was like a huge weight lifted off of my shoulders. And after working at Tyler Perry Studios, I've tried to get other people on, and my boss, she would always say, have they worked in production before? Do they have production experience? And I'd be like, no. And she'd be like, well, they can't work here. And I'm like, but I didn't have production experience. And she was like, Erica, you were different. So I'm not saying that to brag, I'm just saying that's favor. Like, this is how you master being a production assistant. You just go there and you follow directions and you just master it. That's all. It's being a production assistant is very simple. Like, you just follow directions. That's it. It's not easy, but you just follow directions. Okay, first of all, when I was driving up, I had no clue what show I'd be working on, if it were a movie, whatever. I didn't know any of that. It didn't matter. Okay? I had chills walking into that dream building. I mean, I'm talking about literally walking into somebody else's dream. Like, I can't even explain. I can't explain what I felt. It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. Every day I would be so grateful. Even when I would leave there at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. after working 16-hour days, it didn't matter to me. I would always, I know Mr. Perry has cameras everywhere. I would just say, thank you so much, Mr. Perry. I would just be so excited just to be there. Like, production, Lord, after working on that movie, I literally, my back felt like it was about to break. The last day we stopped filming, it ended up being Saturday morning, because that's how late we had been there. Like, we left work in the morning. I was so delirious, but I was still so happy. It was nothing you couldn't tell me. Like, I would just cry and I would just be so excited, and I would tell my boss, like, I broke this whole story down to her, and she was just like, wow. And I would just still cry after and after, because I was just so grateful to not be in the position I was and to be in my dream. It's like one day you're working a job you hate, the next day you literally at your dream job. That's it. To me, it makes complete sense because of who I believe in, but it's just, living that was just crazy. It was crazy. But y'all, when I went there, I know it's a male dominant business, so I wore this long green jacket when I first started working there, and I didn't want anybody to look at my butt. Like, I meant business when I went there. I made sure I was cute and confident, but I wasn't there to flirt with anybody. I was there literally to handle my business, learn everything about production, and be really, really good. Because I didn't want to mess up this opportunity. I wanted to go there and I wanted to kill it. The hours we worked were crazy, like I said. Definitely 60 plus hours, like I said. He shot one movie in 5 days. That was crazy. After that, I was like, I don't think production is for me. Like, I was like, I don't think I could do this, you know? Still in all, it was still a dream for me. But after that week was over, I went back to New York City, and I was still kind of like freelancing a little bit, still looking for jobs, went on interviews. I would go on 2 and 3 interviews, didn't work out. I knew it was still meant for me to go to Atlanta. And then like maybe a month later, I was offered a full-time position back at Tyler Perry Studios. So like I said, I'm not there anymore, but that's by choice. That's by choice. If I still wanted to work in production, I would be back. But I chose to leave there because production is hard work. It is hard work, and it is long hours, and I wanted to get back to a work-life balance. Now mind you, like I said, it was always my dream to work there, but God fulfilled that dream. So I was like, all right, I'm out. You know, it was the biggest blessing. I will be forever grateful for it. Mr. Perry is wonderful. The opportunity to watch him direct is like priceless. So just saying all that to say, y'all, if you have a dream, share it with people. When you network, share it with people. Have your elevator pitch ready to go. You know, if you don't share it with people, there's no way they can help you. I'm just saying to keep the faith. If you have a dream, share it with people, because you never know who they know. So I hope y'all like this video. I'm gonna try to make more. I have a lot of stories like this where I have taken risks and God has just completely blown my mind. So I thank you all so much for watching my video. Peace. No.